Welcome to the Warrior Code Podcast, where warriors are made one step at a time. Join us on an exciting journey through the world of martial arts. Discover the secrets of mastering your technique. Unlock the power of a warrior's mindset. Learn from the top instructors and world-class competitors, whether you're aiming for black belt or want to dominate the tournament scene. This is your ultimate guide of becoming the best version of yourself. Get ready.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Warrior Code Podcast. Here I am with Coach Claudio, LeGrow, and today we're going to talk about a very sensitive issue in the martial art industry, and that is a conversation every parent, instructor, and child needs to prepare for, and that is when the kid says, "Mom, I don't want to go to Taekwondo anymore," or "I don't want to go to karate, I don't want to go to martial arts." So whether you're doing Taekwondo, whether you're doing martial arts, anywhere, there comes a point where kids or adults want to quit. And it can happen for a multitude of reasons, and Coach Claudio here is going to give you in a moment a little bit of feedback on his personal journey, because, and I'll give you a little bit on mine. No person can go all the way without having those moments where you want to quit. And one of the things I try to tell parents right from the beginning is if you're part of a school, like if you're at Warrior Code and we're not fulfilling what we're supposed to do, we're not fulfilling our pledge to you as a member, as a client, it's one thing like you're not achieving your goals, we're not getting the results, we're working hard and it's just not going anywhere. It's one thing. But however, like if your child or if it's for an adult, if you're not putting in the effort and you're not progressing, it's really hard because we're not getting to the desired goal. And quitting is something that I've always viewed as it's contagious. It's like kind of like having a cold, right? Like you quitting something the first time is hard because there's the guilt, there's the emotions, there's other things going on. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And the last thing we want to do is create a culture or a habit within people of quitting. So anyways, Claudio, how many times in your journey so far have you wanted to quit? Whether quit working, quit teaching, quit training, tell us a little bit about your story.
My story, it goes back to like before I even was in martial arts. Everybody comes from different, they grow up differently. They come from different cultures, different backgrounds. I'm myself, I came from a background where it's different than most. It's a little rougher. I remember going to school, getting picked on was one of the big things in elementary, and I remember in 6th grade I got in a fight with two kids. I was 6th grade, they were 8th graders, and then they came up to me, they started picking on me, and I ended up fighting both of them at the same time. And it just opened up to me, like if I knew martial arts or if I would have known anything, what I could have done differently. And I didn't. It was something that stuck with me, and even it was a realization moment for my mom as well, because it could have been 3 more, it could have been 4 more people going up against me, and that could have been my life. I know there's situations where people do end up getting hurt, and sometimes they even end up dying. And so this was very important for my parents and myself to realize, like, bad things can happen like this. So this is where it just started to to see, like, okay, we joined the martial arts school, and then there was times where I wanted to quit myself, but then I just remember my mom would tell me, do you remember, like, when you grow up or when you're on your own, what is it that you're going to do? There's so many bad things that can happen to you, but being prepared for the situation is like one of the best things. And just knowing martial arts can just do so much for you. It might not work in every situation, but it will help you. It'll help you a lot. But I just remember quitting. I just wanting to quit, but my parents never let me because they would remind me, she would tell me, the day of tomorrow, if you ever get in a fire or you ever get in anything, I want you to still be here and stuff. So that was one of my things where it's like, okay, you know what? That's true. Why am I gonna quit? I've learned how to kick. I've learned how to punch, and I do it so often that if I do it outside on the street, I'm very confident in myself that I'll be able to defend myself or defend others as well. But it just goes back on that. If my mom would have let me quit, it was back the same thing. I would have went to high school, and it would happen all over again, or maybe to somebody else, and there's nothing I can do about it. And it's just important to realize that martial arts is important for life, because wherever you are, anything can always happen. So it's just important to know martial arts. And my mom is happy knowing that I will be able to defend myself, as long as my brothers as well, that they know how to defend themselves, because one day I am gonna have kids too, and I need to be able to protect them. So yeah.
It's a powerful story. So it's interesting because I've known him since he was 11 years old, and he always came in as a kid smiling, came in with a positive energy. Him and his especially his younger brother, he has two brothers, and his younger brother and him used to run and jump and fly and kick and smile, and you'd never think that they're coming from a rough neighborhood, or that before signing up that he was dealing with bullies and things like that, whether on the schoolyard or in the neighborhood. And being from Canada, coming from especially a part of Canada that is like happy Irish style people, moving to San Jose, you have the kind of the Hollywood or the vacation lenses on. Especially the first 5 years I lived in San Jose, I was like vacation goggles everywhere. And so everywhere I went, everything was beautiful, everything was nice. And you never kind of see the rough areas or kids coming in from a rough area. One of the reasons we started Warrior Code was because we wanted to help empower people so that we take the victim and turn them into victors. And so, it's a really powerful story. Thank you for sharing that. Any advice that you have for people who are in the same situation? Because I think a lot of times, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of people who they don't feel like they have people to talk to, and sometimes they feel alone, and that also can inspire people to want to quit too, right? So what would be your advice for anybody that's listening, that's in that situation, that feels alone, feels they have no one to talk to, and is heading towards the decision that they want to quit on themselves because they feel like they can't do it?
Well, what I would say is martial arts, it's not just to defend myself. It's brought me so many opportunities because I was very quiet as a kid too. But I've made so many friends in Taekwondo, that so many people, even in different states. Every time I go compete, everybody's super nice, and we all have respect for each other because we know martial arts. So they take that very serious. You don't mess with people that martial arts, that that they know martial arts. They will respect you, especially if you're able to get yourself in that ring and fight. But it goes back on that you just have so many opportunities, and if you want to quit, you got to think about the future. Don't think about what's going on right now, because if you think years from now, let's say you're a little younger, you're gonna hit high school, you're gonna have to go to college. There's so many times in life that you're going to need martial arts, and you just don't think about it for you. Think about it for your parents as well. The day of tomorrow, you're gonna have kids, maybe not, but you have little siblings or cousins or people that you're gonna see getting picked on the street. What can you do to make a difference in this world? Just by you knowing martial arts, trust me, it can do a lot.
So if somebody feels alone and they're on the verge of quitting, life is just getting complicated, they don't believe in themselves anymore, they don't feel like they're progressing, what advice would you give to a parent out there watching, or a student or a child, that's in our classes or in any class, what advice would you give them?
I would advise them to come talk to one of us. Come listen to what we have to say before you even make a decision, because that might be a decision that later on you're gonna regret. We all have different stories from our instructors of why we wanted to quit, and it may be similar to yours, but if you don't come talk to us, you won't find out what it is. And we can empathize with you guys too, because we have gone through these things as well. But you gotta take that first step to come talk to us so we can help you, because if we don't know about it and you just quit and you just go, we won't ever know. And maybe we could have helped, but you just never came to us. So I advise you to just come talk to us. If you guys want to set up a meeting, it could just be me, the student, and the parent, or it could be somebody else. But we get a chance to talk and show you guys things that you guys may not possibly see, and that might help you guys to keep your guys' journey going. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that advice. I think that's really good advice. If you are feeling alone, if you are feeling like you can't do it, come talk to us, because we're here not just to teach you to punch and kick. We're also here to help you when you're in need of a little inspiration, a little motivation. On another note, sometimes people quit and they think, it's just so tiring, I can't do it. But I want you to now take a look at this mentality as well, because everything that Coach Claudio said, I think, was amazing. And I hope that nobody's out there struggling. But if you decide to quit today, you will feel okay, because you didn't work out and you relaxed. Maybe you caught up on some sleep, you got rid of some muscle soreness. Tomorrow you're gonna feel okay. But 6 months from now, when you don't get any stronger, you don't get any better, you don't build any more confidence, 6 months from now you won't feel the same. A year from now, when you're not achieving any more goals, 2 years, 5 years, when you could have achieved some milestones in your life, whether it's getting your black belt, whether it's going to a national or international competition, whether it's just traveling with the team. There's a lot of different opportunities that you miss out on that you would have never experienced had you stuck with it. So again, I like Coach Claudio's advice. Come talk to us. If you're ever in need, suffering, or on the verge of quitting, before you make the decision, just like he said, make a meeting with one of us, make a meeting with all of us. Come and chat with each of us individually. But we are here to help you, guide you, and support you in your journey. Not just on the mat when it's good. We're also here through the times where things look a little bit troublesome. Anything else to add before we close for today?
Just don't think about it coming to talk to us don't just see us as martial art instructors, because outside of this we are real people too. We go through these same struggles, we go through the same things, and just because you see us in uniforms, it doesn't mean that we're not people too. So yeah.
Okay guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.